please feel free to ask any questions in the chat group or in the chat window, and I will do my utmost best to have eyes and ears everywhere. And please feel free to also take yourself off mute if you do have any questions. I will have some opportunities throughout the presentation where I'm going to ask some questions of you guys, and you can either use the chat window or take yourself off mute and share with the group. So thank you everybody for joining us this evening. Just a little bit about me. I worked in IT for 12 years and I was stressed and depressed, and I was just finding it really difficult to get ahead. And peppermint was the catalyst for us in our journey because Renee, she suffered from digestive concerns, irritable bowel syndrome, and she was shown how you could use peppermint internally and topically to help support the symptoms of IBS. And from there, we were hooked, and we just felt so compelled to share and truly align with what we're passionate about, being natural health. So as the story goes, 7 years on, here we are continuing to do what we love to do. And for me, I guess I wasn't the absolute picture of health. And physically, I was super healthy, but I had a bit to learn about emotional health and emotional intelligence. And the oils were a massive invitation catalyst for me to learn how to switch off the mind and be a bit more in touch with my emotional awareness and my stress and rest management as well. Because I was suffering from insomnia. I just couldn't sleep and I was just stressed out. It wasn't a good space to be in. So it doesn't matter how physically fit you are. If you aren't getting into that parasympathetic nervous system state of rest and repair and getting good rest, then there's no point in being physically healthy and fit. Another big part about why I'm really passionate about teaching people about mental health is this guy here right in the middle of this picture. This is my dad, who is my absolute hero. He suffered a stroke when I was 15, and it absolutely rocked my world. And being a South African Air Services paratrooper and pretty much just the invincible action man that he was, it was really hard for him to deal with, and he hit rock bottom, and I had to help him through that period at such a young age, and it was difficult for me to work through. So the emotional intelligence is something that I've had to learn along the way myself, and actually only learnt truly in coming into doTERRA. So just a couple of stats here from Beyond Blue. You guys may or may not have heard of this group, but this is a really good group to go to if you are struggling with depression, anxiety, insomnia, perhaps you're having suicidal thoughts. There's so much help in Australia. There really is no excuse to not be in a high vibrational state. There's so much help out there, including our community of essential oil users as well. So 1 in 8 men will experience depression. 1 in 5 men will experience anxiety. And not sure if this average of 6 men dying of suicide every day is still current. I know the suicide rates are actually up with the current pressures that we experience from COVID, and it really doesn't surprise me. So now more than ever, I feel so drawn and compelled to help support people in mental health, especially given I've been through a recent tough period myself, been stuck in New South Wales for 3 months and not been able to get home to Queensland. And it gave me some really good insight of how easy it is to go down that spiraling black hole, and some of the things that I've used to get back out of that black hole that I'm going to share today. So for me, obviously, I'm going to be talking about essential oils today. But I like to think of the essential oils as a tool in our toolkit, or a catalyst to raise awareness to some of the other things that are also really important in health. Because we're talking about holistic health here. I don't like to say that there's ever one miracle cure to any condition, and that's the truth, because it's a holistic approach. There's so many things that we need to be mindful of and be doing, to be practicing on a daily basis, to be in a high vibrational, happy and healthy state. And that number one thing for me is breath awareness. And we can tie that into meditation, into breath work, which I'm absolutely loving at the moment. I'm going to talk a bit about that at the moment. Sorry, in a bit. And rest and stress management. When you look and think about, think about health and some of the health priorities, a lot of people will go to diet first. But if we're not getting good rest and we're not managing stress well, then you can eat the most amazing diet, exercise perfectly, but it doesn't mean that you are going to be healthy and happy. Stress is the true pandemic of the world, and it has been before COVID, before any of the current situation. It has been for a long time now, decades. And then, of course, water, which we get to add citrus oils to. And I hope you guys have had some fun adding wild orange. And those of you who already have oils in your life, you've got lemon, and tangerine, and so many other citrus oils that you can add into your water that are not only good for your body, but they also taste good, and it makes water a little bit more exciting and fun as well. And then, of course, we're going to touch a little bit on diet, but before that, the environment as well. So when you work from home, you get these friendly little drop-ins from little grommets, naming this one here. No matter how hard you try, they just want to be on, in and around you. So I've got an open door policy in my office, so he's free to come in. And so I touched on that first priority a moment ago with breath. So one of the first things that I do in the morning is I do a Wim Hof breath exercise, and I do this before I do the exercise that I do. And there's some really frank and funny facts here. If we don't breathe, we die, right? The average person can hold their breath for probably 2 to 3 minutes, and then you starve yourself of oxygen and you suffocate and you die. So doesn't it make sense that we prioritize our breath a little bit more? It also improves our cardiovascular health. But this Wim Hof method, if you can do a search in YouTube on the Wim Hof method and do one of his breathing practices where you're breathing fully in, fully out for 30 to 40 breaths, breathing fully out, and then doing a breath hold and progressively holding for longer, and an opportunity as well to relax the body and disconnect from thoughts as well. 1 minute. I'm going to get rid of this vocal little man here. Right. Okay, so there is an app. You can download that. It's no longer free. When I originally made this presentation, it was free, but you can still see the breathing technique on YouTube, and I highly recommend doing that. Applying some easy air over your chest, cupping your hands together, inhaling the aromas, and you can also do a drop of peppermint on your tongue as well. And that's my favorite thing. Before I do a presentation, or I'm meeting with somebody, or I'm going to go for a run or do some exercise, peppermint is a really good way just to get things invigorated and get the day started. So the next thing I wanted to touch on was rest and stress management. Like I boldly claimed before, stress is the true global pandemic, right? But there are some facts around stress, as we all experience it differently because we all have different triggers. Like I might be triggered by a baby crying at the moment. That's my reality at the present, where somebody who doesn't have children or their children are older, maybe that doesn't trigger them as much. But the fact is that stress is stress, and it's going to affect us, especially if we have it in our lives for a chronic period of time. If we are constantly in that fight or flight or the adrenaline pumping state of being, then we are going to get fatigued. Our body is going to start to break down, and we aren't going to be in a happy, healthy space, right? So some things that we can do to manage our rest and stress management is obviously spending time in nature. That's one of my favorite things to do, and doing things that you love. So I love to surf, I love to run, and hike and swim at the beach, and all of those action-packed things. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It can be as simple as just walking in the forest, walking along the beach, walking along your favorite path, and just allowing that stress to melt away. Applying some essential oils such as Adaptive, and absolutely love the Adaptive roller. It's just so convenient. It's got me through some challenging times. And our daily use oil balance, which we've used on the bottoms of our feet and the back of our neck through our week of wellness. Copaiba, which I'm going to talk about in a bit. Frankincense, if in doubt, use frankincense, good for everything. Cedarwood and arbor vitae. These are just some of my favorites. There are so many calming oils, and this is really where essential oils come into their power, into this rest and stress management space, and hence why I'm so passionate about it. So water. We are composed of 60 to 70% water. That composition actually decreases as we get older, up until we're in our later years of life, where it drops down to around about 50%. When we're born, we are up more towards the 70 to 80% composed of water. And if blood is composed of 90% water, doesn't it make sense to drink a heap of the good stuff? And the cool thing is we get to add essential oils to our water. So this is my bottle, glass bottle, always glass or stainless steel, preferably. Aluminium's okay. There is some research around aluminium being not good to use or consume because it can leach out into our water. So I'd prefer glass or stainless steel, but we can add our citrus oils to our bottle. I like to put it in the empty glass or the empty bottle and then add the water. So you get, it mixes through our water. And when we drink it, it's not pooling at the top, and we get a nice even flow and dose. And then there's also some other benefits, of course, to having our citrus in water beyond just tasting good. And that's supporting our gastrointestinal system and boosting our metabolism and, of course, our immune system. And for me, wild orange, the way I see it working is really cleansing and clearing, detoxifying negative emotions. And wild orange for me really helped me get through tough periods at my old job when I just felt like I was in a really low and depressed state. And it just really helped lift me up and melt away that stress and negative energy. So before we move into our environment, I wanted you to share in our chat group anything that you want me to focus on. So if you have a particular health concern or a question about an oil, or how to use oils in certain ways, then I would love to hear from you, because I want to be customizing this session for you guys. I want to be helping you I don't want to just be rattling on the whole time about me and my story. I want to hear from you guys. So please don't be shy. Take yourself off mute. Use the chat window. I'll keep an eye on that, and I'll make sure I hit those points if you have any questions. So the other thing that I wanted to touch on is our environment. I'm not sure if you guys, what your beliefs are, what you've been taught about genes, and perhaps even epigenetics. Bruce Lipton's book, Biology of Belief. This is a book that really confirmed a lot of what I did believe at a scientific level. So if you're a bit of a science nut like myself and you like biology and how cells work and how they impact our environment and DNA and all that sort of cool stuff that I'm not going to go into, I'm not going to bore you with it, check out Bruce Lipton's book. He's also got fantastic series on Gaia TV, which is Gaia.com. That's some great open-minded TV away from mainstream media that I recommend immersing yourself in. But epigenetics is the new paradigm. We no longer need to be dictated what our life is forecast to be based on what our parents' outcomes have been. We're naturally going to inherit some of their behaviors, which actually are what is the cause of 99% of the time of conditions that we do manifest or create or choose ourselves out of consciousness over a period of time. So in knowing that we can actually influence our genes and we can control our health outcomes by our environment, what we think, what we believe, what we do, what we choose, then we can take the power back. And I can say to my parents, to their disgust, that, Dad, he's had high blood pressure his whole life, but it doesn't mean that I am going to have high blood pressure and I'm going to have these health concerns, because I'm aware that I need to insert rest and stress management, and it needs to be part of my daily life. So this is something that I highly encourage you take on board and you start to embrace in your life. So Sonny's just finished an applied genetics unit at uni. So Sonny, you could probably school us all on that, mate. feel free to share some of the love. So a couple more sayings here from Bruce Lipton about the moment that we change our perception, we get to rewrite the chemistry. So what is it we can change? We can start to notice our thoughts, our patterns and habits, not taking them so seriously. Be amused by some of these thought patterns, these behaviors that come up, the mind and how the things that it says on perhaps even repeat that maybe we want to change. The only way we can be aware of that and change it is, first of all, by creating space to be aware of those thought patterns and how they serve us. Obviously, using oils to calm the nervous system. And for me, this is the catalyst, and providing that invitation to deepen our meditation, to get into a deeper meditative state and start to create more space between those record playing mind patterns, and maybe creating some new thought patterns that encourage more health and happiness in our life. For me, removing stimulants like sugar for me is a big one. I had a year and a half of no alcohol, no sugar, no coffee, a year and a half, and I felt amazing. I was able to eliminate all refined sugars from my diet. Occasionally I'll splash out, but I feel it, and I have to have Smart and Sassy to regulate those blood sugar levels again. Coffee, I enjoy a coffee. I've got rules, I've got boundaries. I only have one coffee in a day. If I have more, then it affects my sleep. It creates anxiety. Energy drinks are just a no-go. And just changing your environment one step at a time. You don't have to go cold turkey on everything and make everything so stressful that you end up relapsing or going back onto excessive amounts of coffee, energy drinks, sugar, processed foods, etc. Some other things that you can do in the way of practice with essential oils, and I've been banging on about this. If you've been in our week of wellness, that group, our Facebook support group, and that's applying 2 to 3 drops of balance on the base of your feet and the back of your neck. And you can do this twice daily. I do this in the morning, and I also do it of an afternoon as well. In the evening, when I go to bed, I use deeply calming oils. My favorite two at the moment are vetiver on the big toes. Sorry, I do have 2 big toes, on all of the toes and the upper part of my foot. Reason why I do that is in reflexology, the big toe and the toes, they represent the head. So calming the mind and getting ready for a deep and restful sleep. Awesome dreams as well with clary sage. Artists actually use clary sage for colorful dreams. And drinking that 500 ml plus of water, 3 to 5 drops of wild orange. You can do this 3 times daily. If you're in a really deep, dark, depressive state, then I highly recommend getting wild orange into your water 3 times daily and drinking 1.5 to 2 liters, 1.5 liters, at least 2 liters preferably. And practicing meditation and mindfulness. And look, this doesn't need to be complex. You don't need to be in a loincloth in the highlands of Nepal to meditate. You don't need to be a yogi. It's as simple as just bringing awareness to your breath. And it could be 2 minutes. Work up to 10 minutes. It doesn't need to be such a high and hard pinnacle to achieve that you get disheartened and you give up on meditation. Meditation is not easy. It takes practice and you need to do it daily. Start with 2 minutes. There are so many apps and audios that you can use to help aid the process. And I highly recommend using them to start with. Some other oils that I really like to use for meditation are sandalwood, blue tansy is good, spikenard. These are really deeply relaxing essential oils. And once again, just those baby steps. Don't beat yourself up if you have thoughts coming up while you're just starting to meditate or you're improving your meditative practice. Just be amused by it. It's be amused by the mind. Don't take it too seriously. So the other essential oil that I wanted to talk about today is copaiba. And I also covered a bit about this in our week of wellness today, if you're a part of that. If you're not, you're more than welcome to join our support group. I'd love to hear from you guys and help where I can. Yes, doTERRA, Sunny's just added here. doTERRA is doing such a good job at bridging the gap between science and woohoo. Because they are so interconnected. The more we're learning about a quantum physics and embracing quantum physics down to that atomic level, the more we're realizing how a song and vibration and everything is interconnected, and how we all are just space and vibration. So thank you for the science developments to confirm the woohoo. That's really cool. So some things that you can do with copaiba is 1 drop under the tongue. So people are doing this for anxiety, stress management. There's also the soft gels as well. So doTERRA are now making a lot of their products in soft gel form that are 100% safe to use internally. When you get a little bit more comfortable and confident with using your essential oils, and like me, you're happy to just drop them straight on or under the tongue or in your water, then this is, the best value for money is the 15 ml vials, and just inverting the bottle straight underneath or on top of your tongue. That takes a little bit of practice. The soft gels are a really easy and safe way to use essential oils internally. You can also apply the copaiba onto pain points. It's great for inflammation and pain. And you can also, of course, diffuse it. Diffusing essential oils is one of the most safest and effective ways to use essential oils. My little 4-year-old, she's going through a period where she won't allow me to apply the essential oils onto her. I've made up a spray so I can spray her with this bedtime spray once she's gone to sleep. And then I can also diffuse as well. So she is just getting the benefits of the essential oils by being in the environment while the diffuser is going. And just have fun with the essential oils. Just that is life, is trying things till you find what works. And when you really think about our traditional or a conventional medical system, that is basically what doctors are doing. You go to their practice because they are practicing on us, and you will be patient because you are a patient, and we need to find what's going to work for you. So it's no different to you taking back the power and finding what works for you. And you know what? You are the best judge on what feels good for you. When you use something, you know straight away, this feels good, this feels right, this makes me feel better. Okay, there's no side effects here. This is natural. I feel good about this. Have confidence. My number one goal in doing what I do is to empower the healer within you to take the power back and to feel confident in being completely in charge and responsible for your health, and having these tools on hand to be able to help you support in that practice. So some other things that I'm just going to quickly go over, and we're going to wrap things up in the next 10 minutes. But the foundation of health in doTERRA, and what doTERRA has to offer outside of the essential oils, but also have essential oils in them, is the lifelong vitality range. Now, this is composed of 3 supplements, and it does feel like a lot at first to be taking 12 tablets in a day, 6 in the morning, 6 at night with food. But this is going to help with more energy. It's going to help with less pain. It's going to help with healthier hair, skin, and nails. And it's also going to help with your immune as well. When Renee and I first started taking Lifelong Vitality 7 years ago, one of the first things that we noticed was the hair, skin, and nails, obviously. And this has a 30-day money back guarantee, mind you, which is great. So if it doesn't work, you don't like it, you get your money back. But we also noticed that we just weren't getting sick. And we were working full time in government jobs. Renee was a primary school teacher, so she was around germ-riddled children, God bless them, on a daily basis. I worked in local government, and I was in an office environment. If someone sneezed, then everyone got sick. I wasn't getting sick. I was using Lifelong Vitality and the oils, managing my rest and stress, drinking lots of water, feeling amazing. But I had to take mental health days because my immune system was so good. So like I said, it's a 30-day money back guarantee. So those mental health days usually composed of me going for a surf. That's, you got to have them. So 30 days, 30-day money back guarantee on the Lifelong Vitality Pack. It's $115, and it's far less than the cost of a cup of coffee. So if you buy a coffee and you're paying $4, $5 for a cup of coffee, you're going to be paying about $3 or $3.50 for Lifelong Vitality, a daily dose delivered. That's the difference. And you're going to feel so much better than drowning yourself in caffeine all day long, I guarantee. So the best way to get started in doTERRA is with our two favorite kits, the Home Essentials and the Family Essentials kit. Now, these two kits are exactly the same, and they come with 10 of doTERRA's most popular oils that we often use on a daily basis. Lemon, I put in my water first thing. Frankincense, everything. Great for a aromatic dressing. On Guard, everything immune. Lavender, everything calming, anxiety. Peppermint, everything invigorating and cooling. Digestion, this is the oil that we used after being introduced to peppermint for Renee's irritable bowel syndrome. She took it internally and used it topically whenever she had an upset bowel. Easy Air, everything respiratory, great for diffusing, especially if you've got a snoring husband or wife sit next to you. Tea tree is great for skin, great for kids. And oregano is an absolute powerhouse. We don't use that as often as all the others. And then there's Ice Blue, which is everything about pain, inflammation. If you're a gym junkie or you love exercise like me, Ice Blue is going to be your friend. It's going to allow you to recover quicker. It's going to help muscles repair faster. And you're going to allow you to get back into the gym or go out and run and do the activities that you love to do. So how we get our essential oils is either retail, which is full price, or wholesale. You can either pay $35 for a joining fee and get 25% off all of your product. Or when you get one of those kits, they waive the $35 wholesale fee and you get access to wholesale prices. Plus, you're saving money getting these kits as well. You can see the Home Essentials there, $130. These prices are a little different. There's actually fractionated coconut oil in Home Essentials kit, and it's around about $338. And it's the same with the Family Essentials kit. It also comes with a fractionated coconut oil, and it's just over $180 now. So once you've got your wholesale account, there is also this very rewarding system called the Loyalty Rewards Program. And it really is the only way to get your oils on an ongoing basis, because you get up to 55% off. You get the 25% off, plus you earn points to get free product. And you also get your shipping cost back in free product points too. So you don't have to join the Loyalty Rewards Program. It is a monthly order. You only have to commit to one product per month. So easy to do. Once you try it and you reap the rewards, you'll see why that I say that this is the only way to get your oils and your doTERRA product. So how to get started, get a kit. Either Home Essentials or the Family Essential kit are my two favorites. There are heaps of others, like the Nature Solutions, the oil sharing kit. If you're an entrepreneur like Renee and myself, that's the kit that we started. Renee wanted to get the every oil kit for $4,000, and I managed to negotiate down to the oil sharing kit. But this is the best way to get started, is with these kits right here. This is one of the other kits that I was mentioning before, the Nature Solutions kit, also really popular. So this is a time for you to start taking control of your health and happiness. And we have a second little visitor here. This is Indy. This is my 4-year-old, keeping everybody in line. So if you're ready to get started, what I highly encourage you to do, if you've been invited by somebody apart from myself, or you landed here been invited by someone apart from myself, then please get in contact with that person so they can help you get started and you are aligned in the correct place. But if you did follow the bouncing ball and you followed some of my links and our social, then if you go to pureoils.com.au, our website, you'll see in the top left corner of the screen, there's a join button. You can also use connect in the top right if you have any questions. And today, I also have an offer for anybody who is getting started in the month of November in the Pure Oils community. For the first 10 people, we're giving away a free bottle of Copaiba soft gels. So if this is something that you're interested in taking advantage of and you'd like to get some Copaiba soft gels, then I'm going to be giving those away to the first 10 people. Just make note of that little link there. And I'm going to open things up now to you guys. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask in the chat group, or take yourself off mute. And I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for joining me.